All right, let me get myself up and go get some coffee. I've had enough sleep. I got a lot of shit to do today that I got to get done, but I wanted to come and talk real quick. Um, and when this is really, really important, and you can choose to listen to me or not. Honestly, it's not just hurting y'all, but it has obviously hurt me. Uh, Obviously, because I've spoken about it, which it shouldn't have. A complete stranger online should not affect a person's life. I worked very hard to, start my company and made plans, pre-planned, um, starting my company. And, and to just see some of the stuff that I have seen is kind of ridiculous. Um, at this point, what I am doing is rebuilding and restructuring my company, which is definitely going to happen. But I wanted to express some concerns that I have about the spiritual community on YouTube, and then people who should not be in the spiritual community, people that should not be advising people about spiritual matters, that are on here saying disgusting things about me that are totally not the truth. Um, but then trying to get the attention of the spiritual community by using my name. Okay. And, I want to discuss that and, give people a warning. Now, obviously, I've been talking this morning about, um, hold on, 5, 6. Obviously, I've been talking this morning about, being very angry about the intrusiveness of certain people on this website. But this is something totally separate. Okay. This is something totally separate. And, I feel that I am more than equipped to deal with certain people on my own situation. Um, as far as like what has been happening on youtube.com. And I think that it was really weak and ridiculous that people were actually on here trying to pretty much trying to say that I was not qualified to be a spiritualist or a witch because I had relationship problems. Yeah, nice try. Okay. But I want to talk to y'all about something serious. And if somebody wants to confront me about that, then that's fine. I don't care because I feel that there are a lot of people on here that for years have been pretty much hustling in the spiritual community or trying to do a spiritual hustle, which is not going to do anybody any good. Because I'm just going to tell you, if I were to actually run down to y'all the crazy shit that can happen, the dangers in you guys' spiritual stuff that y'all need to pay attention to. Where the hell is my coffee cup, y'all? I just had it. And when you've got distraction, when you shouldn't be distracted, when people are purposely trying to interfere with me assisting you with these problems purposely because they want to throw temper tantrums in social media about old shit that doesn't even matter to anybody anymore, then that's when I have a problem. Y'all know that I don't let people intimidate me. Y'all already know that. I'm trying to find my coffee cup though. What the hell did I do with my coffee cup? This is weird, bro. Um, and I'm gonna say this, and as I say this, when I get off of here, I'm gonna be flagging somebody's channel because y'all need to be very leery of some of these people on here. But I just gotta say to y'all, um, you can like whoever you like on here. Okay, you can, uh, you know what I'm saying? You can like whoever you like. I'm not trying to tell anybody that, but I think that it's extremely dangerous for people to be taking spiritual advice from somebody who stated publicly that someone went to prison because Jamila conjured a demon and made that person go to prison. uh, Listen, first of all, you should not be taking spiritual advice. Like, okay, you can listen to a person tell a story, but to take actual spiritual advice from a person that can't even take responsibility for their own actions that they committed, crimes that they committed, okay? And, I know that I get very angry. That doesn't mean that I forced or made somebody do something. I'm angry because my children have been under attack. I'm angry because my reputation has been sullied. I'm angry because people have lied on me, told bold-faced lies on me. Okay. That's why I'm angry. And I got every goddamn right to be angry. And I'm going to be angry about that for as long as it requires. Okay. You should not be taking spiritual advice from someone that can't even figure out basic mathematics. You commit a crime and you go to prison. This is the issue. People that don't have much goddamn sense are constantly using my name to get attention. And it concerns me to know that people would be tempted to pay attention to those people. Now, I'm going to tell you something. Not only are those people going to be punished, I don't give a shit if they post all day in social media, oh, my life is great, my life. Listen, you can be the best witch in the world and you still going to have some problems. There's always going to be problems in life, okay? It's called life, okay? And so, don't let the shit fool you. But the point is that who takes spiritual advice from somebody that don't even have enough common sense to know that if you shoot somebody, you're going to go to prison? Right? If I were to go and shoot somebody right now, I would go to prison. Would I sit in the prison and say, oh, somebody conjured a demon and that's why, and I ain't do nothing. I ain't did nothing wrong. Somebody conjured a demon. No. That is going to not only be dangerous for those people, but also for you. So this concerns me a lot that certain people, and I don't give a damn if they have something to say about it. Y'all know I don't give a shit about what people say. I'm going to say what the truth is. Okay. And I'm pissed off at those people for harassing me, stalking me when I was trying to grieve my mother. My mother passed away a couple of years ago. It has been constant stalking and harassment on this website. You cannot take spiritual advice from somebody or depend on them for spiritual work if they are stalking somebody. Okay? You can't do it. That person is mentally ill, right? That's a mentally ill person that would sit and stalk somebody for several years. Okay? That's somebody that has problems. Okay? So that is what my concern is for the spiritual community and for anyone to uh to fall for something like that. That's kind of crazy. Let's not mention that. Let's not to mention that. So for example, I'm gonna give you guys an example. When y'all be dealing with these goddamn men, and y'all be battling with other women over these men, right? I'm gonna use this as a perfect example. You guys need somebody that is an expert in spiritual battle. Okay, I'm not talking about cussing somebody out. No, anybody can cuss somebody else out. I can cuss people out. Okay, but cussing somebody out and using crafty words and yelling and screaming is not going to save you when you need spiritual work done. That's not that doesn't do me any good. Roasting, as they call it, roasting, being a roaster is not going to save you from a bad spirit. And I've noticed that, and my clients, they tell me the truth. There are two clients that I two have that watch the debacle on YouTube, and they have nothing but problems because they watch it. They're asking me why, and I'm sitting up here telling them, like, well, first of all, you're allowing things to be a distraction. You're allowing somebody else to distract you from your spiritual stuff. And if you're in a spiritual battle over a man, these women, they will fuck your life up. They will go and hire somebody to fuck your life up over that man. They don't give a damn. These bitches out here are treacherous about these men. Okay? They are treacherous. If they could get away with it, they would murder you and hide your body over these men. Do you understand me? So when they go to somebody to put curses on you to get you away from that man so that they can win a war over a man, you guys don't have time to be distracted for hours and hours by bullshit. Okay. In fact, none of those people, and I'm going to tell you something, none of those people are going to give a damn about even their reputation enough to make sure that you get through that spiritual battle. They're not real. So I'm an exorcist. And it's been quite some time since I've stated my exorcism incantation. I used to do it every once in a while, and I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not doing that anymore because I'm not taking on people's demons unless you're a client. I'm not going to sit up here and give free work to anybody. If you choose to go and be in the middle of a demonic cesspool of bullshit, that's on you. I remember when this last situation went down, there was people over on my channel saying things like, "Oh, well, I like both of y'all." Listen, I ain't never asked to be compared to nobody on here, and I ain't never appreciated that. I have never appreciated being compared because there is no comparison. I have no ties with people on here. People have tried to keep themselves tied to me. People have lied on me. People have said that I'm stalking people that I ain't spoke to in years. Listen, um, y'all need to pay attention to y'all spiritual stuff. And if you don't pay attention to your spiritual stuff and you choose to bullshitty around with it, like I'm talking about, you choose to actually think that laughter and laughing is going to change that shit, you are foolish as hell and you are doing yourself a disservice. Somebody making you laugh ain't gonna make your spiritual problems go away. You can't depend on somebody spiritually when they're too stupid and dumb and ignorant as shit, and they can't put two plus two together, one plus one, three plus three. If you shoot somebody, you're gonna go to prison. Maybe you already had a demon inside of you. See, that's a person that instead of taking responsibilities, they project their shit to other people, which is even more dangerous. And yeah, I'm concerned about people. It ain't about the money. It really ain't. Cause shit, in the past year, y'all done damn near went broke. Y'all ain't grew at all. While other people have been, just filling your head up with BS. So I'm concerned about clients or potential clients that have been watching that shit that are totally being misled. And that's exactly what you've been doing. And you cannot blame that on me. And if they try to blame it on me, there's going to be a problem because I told you sensible shit. This morning I was on here talking about the personal shit in my life. Yes, this morning I was talking about my experiences on here with certain people. But you know what? What the fuck does that have to do with you? I have to put that shit to the side. Yeah, I'm pissed that these people have done the stuff that they have done. You know why I'm mainly pissed? Not just for me, not even for me at all. Let me tell you something. Spirit gonna take care of me. They gonna all my spirits are always gonna find a way to take care of me. Y'all, on the other hand, if you are not under my protection, I can't help you. And you can't take it. Obviously, I got some protection, obviously. They've been running around here acting like little fools for 3 years, but I'm gonna remain in my home. And why would you like this is what I would ask to any person in the spiritual community. Why would you rock with somebody that is so fucking ignorant that they will come online? And I'm not talking about a man because men can do things because they're angry and they're upset. I'm talking about somebody that is why would you contend or even like somebody that is trying to tear down a very important spiritual company? How would you think that I would be here for several years plus doing what I am doing with hundreds, probably up to 1,000 client reviews? How would that have happened? So, and I know that there's a lot A lot of confusion. It is. It's a lot of confusion. YouTube is a place where you can go to a YouTube channel and they're going to run down to you, the whole thing about Jamie Foxx being cloned. There's always a possibility of that. But what the hell does that have to do with you? What does that have to do with you and your spiritual stuff? Or are you going to continue to allow bullshit to be a distraction from what you're supposed to be doing spiritually? So it concerns me. It concerns me that people would actually look at a person that attacked somebody's kids for several years and say, hey, you're my type of person. Like, I guess that would have to depend on your moral compass. But I think that it's something far more sinister. And whatever the sinisterality of it is, you think that Jamila can't handle that shit. You're crazy if you think that it's a match for me. And this is not a delusion of grandeur, as that black lady said 2 weeks ago. Oh, she's having delusions of grandeur. Well, you know what? God and spiritual power and witchcraft is not a delusion. It's all very real. Okay? You're talking to somebody that has battled hundreds of people. So I'm not foolish. I'm not weak. And of course, I know what I'm doing. I personally feel that it was not only a conspiracy against me, but against you. It's a conspiracy against you. Because I've actually seen people, and I've had people come to my channel and say, I was going to buy a reading and I'm not going to do it because so and so. So I'm like, well, shit, that's on you, hun. If you want to fall for the okey doke, and I have never seen anything like it before. I've never would have imagined that something like that, a literal spiritual conspiracy against obviously the black community, being ushered in by black people. That's some sick shit. That's some sick shit. So, for example, the client that watches the mess, the BS, the fake shit on YouTube, you know, I'm sitting up here trying to get through to this person and let them know, hey, you have got to listen to me. I have a client right now with a fucking millionaire attacking her. This bitch got a bunch of money at her disposal. My client needs me. I don't abandon people, right? I've never done that. And I asked her because she's mentioned it to me a couple of times. Well, I was looking at this and I told her, I said, you ain't got time to look at shit like that. Do you know what you're facing? Do you know what you're dealing with? Do you know the ramifications of what you're dealing with? I can't help you if you won't let me. Okay? Hey, one EQ. Hey, sweetie. I can't help you if you won't. And you know what? We have been through this. We've been going through this it started in 2013, essentially, is when it started. And here it is 10 years later. And as certain people's mental state has gotten worse, since people's mental state has gotten worse, the situation has gotten worse. Okay. And, yeah, I'm pissed because I feel personally that the government does have a lot to do with it because the government is not regulating people who possibly do receive government benefits for some kind of mental disability, and they're not keeping watch on these people, and they are not making sure that these people are not out in society committing crimes but actually committing crimes, right? So yeah, I'm pissed off at the government because they're not regulating these people. They're not making sure that they are getting their medication. And the crazy part about it is that whatever, yeah, I have all sorts of wild views about some people that are suffering from mental illness. I have wild views about some people that are suffering physical illness. But that ain't the case in every case. Some of these people, like for me, like this morning when I was crying my eyes out and releasing and things that I had been bottled that had been bottled up inside of me, that's normal. That's normal in a situation where you are constantly being attacked by 100 people at the same time. And when your babies are being attacked, just simply because you started your business and you're a YouTuber and you're in social media. So yeah, that's normal for people to do the things that they have done. I mean, literally, I've came on here and told y'all that I've been laying here in bed at 6 o'clock in the morning, and the police have been banging at my door saying, "Is everything okay in there, ma'am? Somebody called 911 to your house." And for people to sit there and go, "Oh," like I'm wondering, what are you afraid that these people are going to do the same thing to you? Because maybe perhaps they have your address. Because I can assure you that never in my life, not even when I was a teenager, not even when I was a little kid, have I ever committed that kind of prank phone call to the police or anybody else. I remember when we was kids, though, we did used to do prank phone calls to people's houses. That's like a totally different thing. Okay. And then I'm talking about when we was little kids, we do bad little shit like that. Maybe once or twice till we got caught and somebody called my grandmother and was like, I think you got some kids, and my grandma handled that shit and we never did that shit again. That's just like me and my cousins. We went out to the backyard and decided, let's spray a tree with lighter fluid I'm talking about barbecue charcoal fluid, and set them shits on fire. Okay. And my grandma whooped our asses for that. Okay. That now, and my grandma rarely whooped us. Rarely. I didn't grow up in an abusive environment like that. Maybe a little weird. Maybe it was some weird, kind of shit that, but otherwise my grandma was the best person, my favorite person in the world. Still is to this day. Okay. That concerns me about the spiritual community. It takes a lot more to be a witch than just being eccentric. You have to know things, and you have to be able to know and be connected to spirit to let people know what needs to be done at that time. Now, the one thing that I'm telling you is that, first of all, it's never a one and done when, especially if you're in a spiritual battle over a man. That's a long-term situation, especially when you're dealing with a baby mama. The shit that you gonna have, and I'm always upfront with people. I say, hey, listen, this is gonna be a long-term issue. I'm willing to ride it out with you, but you have to listen to me. Whenever you get sidetracked, this is where you might be being a little irresponsible with yourself, because instead of you got to understand that I can't control grown people and what they decide to do. But the spiritual shit that's being thrown at you, yes, yes, I can definitely help you with that. I don't know about this other shit. And a lot of y'all have, it's almost like, because there's two of my clients, one of them I haven't confronted her about it, but there's two of my clients that I know for a fact was watching that crap, and they seem to just be like, I don't want to say mentally incapacitated. It's almost like they can't think straight. It's almost like they like, and I can promise you that it is not my fault. I am not liable for what everybody does. Okay? I am not God. Okay? I'm not liable for what those people do. I ain't conjured no demon to put somebody's kid in prison. That's a lie. In fact, at the time that all of it went down, I actually had, fond feelings for that person. So I wouldn't do that to somebody that I cared about. I cared about that dude at the time that he went to prison, even though he's an asshole, even though he came back and did some assholey shit and lied on me. So automatically that's a lie, and the story don't even make sense. When a story doesn't make sense, it doesn't make sense. Wait a minute. Yo, wait a minute, bruh. You're claiming, first of all, I made you shoot somebody. You realize that I do not have a fucking track record of that whatsoever. You realize that that would not serve my purpose at all. Now, I just so happen to talk to those people. And people will say, well, you should have, I thought you were a psychic. You should have known that. No, no. You know what? Everything that we go through for a reason. Sometimes it's a lesson. Okay. Entertainment and laughter is not going to resolve your spiritual problems. That's just like this morning when I did that reading. A lot of you guys don't even have beef with other people. These are spirits that are on you. And some of y'all, I have caught y'all just downright under possession. Downright under possession. That, yes, it is very, very real. Spiritual possession. It's rare that a person can exercise themselves. I'm one of those people that can do that. Did I need an exorcism this morning? Probably. Or either just, I would say, neutralization. And I know how to neutralize myself because I think that those were my own angry spirits. My spirit team would never allow me to be possessed by spirits. Never. Not bad spirits. Now, the way that that is happening to a lot of y'all is that either your ancestors are not present, and there's a couple of different reasons why. You cannot say that all of your ancestors are bad just because you don't get along with your family. You have ancestors going all the way back, but what ends up happening is that you lose touch with them. Sometimes that can be done on purpose. I know I was looking for my grandmother one day, and when I found her, she was locked up in a spiritual prison. And y'all got to get smart about that. That's why I was talking to y'all on the other channel about, you got to get your head out of your ass. I realized that when you were a certain age, you started smelling your ass, but you know what? You have to understand that there are people out there getting real work done on y'all. I'm talking about All they got to do sometimes is go and dig up some damn sand on the beach, and there's spirits in that sand, and put that shit on you. And the next thing you know, you got a bunch of foul shit happening in your life that you don't like. Okay? You know? And it just is what it is. And you've got to pay attention to that. You cannot keep neglecting yourself for some BS. Now, for some reason, when I got labeled as stupid, there have been people that have been trying to emulate me or replace me or some stupid shit, and that's not going to happen. I can see that obviously. Um, it's I've seen people try to duplicate my practices, and they shouldn't have been doing that. I have been a almost a crystal. I am a crystal. I am a sage. I've been that my whole life, which is why, people just like to basically, to put it in, for lack of better words, it's almost like they try to take dumps on me. People dump their shit off on me because, there's this crystal portal inside of me that, just kind of, captures this stuff and gets rid of it. But I can promise you, hello, Black Karma, I can promise you that after being that person my entire life, it's not fair that I would not benefit for who I am. And that's something that I should benefit from. And trust me, Spirit let me know my entire life. Ever since I went out into the workforce, Spirit was pushing me into this position. And yeah, it's been lucrative, of course. Doesn't mean that and see, the thing of it is that you can have whatever you want in life. It's just that it's certain people on here that you got to quit paying attention to. Because those people are blocks. See, I am a crystal. There are other people that are just blocks. I am damn near clear. And I've always known that it was something strange about me. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you know yourself, and you know who my boss is, who my manager is God at the end of the day. Sometimes I do believe I'm an incarnated angel. So a lot of people don't understand, and a lot of people don't understand a lot of the incarnated angels and the dark empaths. They don't really understand that because, they are kind of stuck on these worldly things, right? I have a very, very deep spiritual background. Okay. I'm a multi-generational witch, and I've had I it's my family has a spiritual background out of this world. So this is no joke and no cap over here. My concern is people taking people seriously that would actually say, I mean, just think about it. I must be a bad motherfucker. I conjured a demon and made somebody shoot somebody. I mean, I would never want to see somebody get hurt, especially not an innocent person. You know what I'm saying? And I would send healing energy to that person that got hurt. I'm pretty sure my spirit team, part of that probably already did, but I ain't conjured no demon with an intent to send nobody to prison. I must be a bad mother. Shut your mouth. Good Lord. A demon actually went by my command and made somebody go to prison? So I have to say that because, I was the one that was being picked on, even though there was another witch that was brought up. I was the one that was smeared a lot recently. And I'm going to be honest with you. Not only am I pissed, but my spirit team is pissed too, because that's like a glitch that, like, to me, I can sit here and say that everything happens for a reason, but I think that when it happened several years ago, but the fact that it came back recently should have never happened. Because even back then it didn't hold water. It's never going to hold water. It's never going to hold any value because it's bullshit. Okay? And I'm not concerned about anybody on here spiritually attacking me, trust me. I have no concern. I don't give a damn if they take a coffin, put a doll of me in it. That shit ain't gonna touch me. So I ain't worried about none of it. I mean, I do what I do, and I'm very spirit led when it comes to protecting myself. But when it gets to the point where I'm being compared to that, that's an insult. And why am I being compared? Because I'm black, because I'm light skinned, confusion, confusion. I'm confusion. Because, like, no, yeah, no. And I'm not a psychic, I'm a psychic witch. And I'm not, you know what? I don't even like calling myself a witch. I'd prefer to say that I'm a high priestess. Am I a high priestess that's here to harm people? No, least of all, not my clients, especially not my clients, not anybody else. I mean, shit, I may appear to be harmful to people that I have to defend myself against. I may have to do that, but otherwise, nah. I personally think it's just backbiting and harassment and bullying and stalking. It's absolutely disgusting. And then people saying, "Oh well, a troll contacted you, so that means that you're not a witch," and saying stupid stuff like that. Well, trolls need spiritual help, don't they? Keep it a buck. Trolls that are actually trolling the internet, being assholes, they they need spiritual help. I just had a situation just a few days ago that I may have, I could have, possibly, I haven't consulted with my spirits about it. Well, technically, we have, because we don't just take responsibility for everybody's spiritual stuff. I guess I had an opportunity to help somebody that is not a paying client, but this person was obviously struggling with something. Out in this world, you have to have your spiritual stuff tight. And you got to understand that when you dealing with somebody with my last name is Briscoe. Like, if you don't know the spiritual significance of my last name, you look at that last name and you better know what you're dealing with. So, for example, when I'm doing business with somebody where I am the client, so I was speaking about that, you have to have your ducks in a row, or being that, because I often tell people all the time what I do for a living, so that they can know exactly who I am, what I am, and so that if they're struggling with something, they can contact me and they can say, hey, and a lot of people, because they're prideful, they won't do that. And I think that this was the case in the situation, and it really, really pissed me off, because you know what, guys? You pissed my spirit team off. Right now, what my spirits want is they want me not to take a break from doing spiritual work. They want me to take a break from social media. They ain't gonna never shut down my business. We are everlasting. But they wanted me to take a break from social media so that I could take a rest break from it. And so my spirit team is pissed about it, and they're working it out. And, I've had people try to create spiritual problems for me. And yeah, my spirits always work them shits out. They do. So I couldn't have asked for better than that. But it's just the point that I get impatient because I'm tired. And when I come to social media, it breaks my heart to see so many people walking into darkness when you don't have to, and then come back and blame it on Jamila. Now, that ain't gonna happen, because I've been getting scapegoated on for quite some time based upon decisions that grown people are making, and that ain't right. It's too much for a person to take. It really is. It's too much. My spirits, they want me to get a massage. They got a whole plan for me. They want me to have a professional deep tissue massage. They want me to rest and relax. And I'm not even going to lie to you. My spirits definitely do. It's not about just, oh, it's a lake house, it's luxury. I am an empath that y'all have no idea. I had to block out half of my childhood because of who I am was so traumatic for me as a child. And it wasn't physical violence, because I don't, you look at my body, I have stretch marks where I've had babies, but I ain't got no bruises and scars all over my body. I don't have nothing like that going on, because it wasn't violence. It was more so spirits, even malevolent ones, will speak to those that can see them and hear them. So if they know that a person has those gifts, they will communicate. In my entire life, I have had negative spirits communicating all kinds of shit to me. And it's something to where I've learned to deal with it. This has been my whole life, even when I was a kid. Because I was a kid at some point. I'm 46 years old. I was a child when I was born, my whole life. So, and my spirit team feels as though a lot of these people on YouTube in particular have been unnecessary, unorthodox, and like yeah, no. Like, who are you and where did you come from? So this is the reason why at the out the gates, those people get blocked. Their energy gets blocked. And it wasn't, it was, and they knew it. So what they did was they said, let's send people to her house then. And see, that is where it's a problem. And I had people that were accusing me of all kinds of stuff. It's not about the money, but it was like, oh, she's not running a business. Oh, she's not doing that. Oh, she's crazy, which none of the above was the truth. Um, my spirit team did all of this so that I wouldn't be overworked because even when I was in my teens and my 20s, I was so neglected spiritually as a child that and that's not I don't blame my parents for that. I don't. But I was spiritually neglected as a child and it was like to the point where I would go to school and I would fall asleep because you know what? I didn't have protection. I didn't. I wasn't properly being protected. You know, I wasn't. So I would be bombarded with spirits and then have to get up and go to school the next day. It was like I was a zombie. I was just like, there are times when I can think back and I could remember barely being able to function. So if you are spiritually gifted, you have to understand that, yeah, you do need to handle your business as far as like, yeah, because we all have bills to pay. But you know what? When it comes to your spiritual self, you have to make sure that that shit is taken care of. You can't run around here and neglect yourself. Now, I try to tell people that, and it just floating around. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, hey, I'm not a forceful person. That I'd rather let my spirits do that. If I feel like I can't get through to a person that I'm trying to get through to, I'll say, hey, y'all got to do this. Y'all got to handle something. So what I do for a living is very serious in a sense to where, it's not like it's going to kill me ever, but it's in a sense to where that is pretty much, I'm not a martyr, I'm not a saint, it's not going to kill me. No, but it's more so of a calling for me. It's not a hustle. Okay. You know what I'm saying? I used to get up every morning and listen to Rick Ross. Every day I'm hustling, 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 hustling. But you know what? It ain't even about what he's saying. It's about the beat. It's about the energy. It's about his voice. It's about the energy. I can't even listen to that because this ain't no damn hustle. Cause trust me, if I had a choice, I would have rather been selling real estate in Florida or all over the globe. Okay, not all over the globe, fuck that, but all over the damn United States. I'd be a real estate investor. And my spirits let me know. They said, no, that's not what you're supposed to be. No, no, nah, I'm supposed to be, and I don't necessarily have to necessarily be on YouTube. YouTube gets on my nerve because I do feel as though there are a lot of fakes and snakes on here. It does get on my fucking nerve. I know how to mind my own business though, right? But when it's surrounding around me, and when people are using my name and saying, I want to lead you over here, then yeah, I do have to say something. And it's a lot of people who, well, I don't want to say a lot of people. I know at least a few people that didn't decide to do this business or go into this because it's a business for me, but then again, it's also a calling. They didn't do it until they saw me do it. And that's very disingenuous because you have no idea. I remember a few years ago, I had ran into somebody, and this heifer was really spiritually attacking me, and me and her ended up becoming cool. And I don't know what happened to this lady, but me and her ended up becoming kind of cool. You know what I'm saying? And she has sent a spirit to me, and she's not on YouTube anymore, but she has sent a spirit to me, and I felt this spirit, y'all. It like it just kind of made me feel like, ooh, what is that? It felt like something was hanging above my head. It wasn't painful, but it was more so, it was like, oh my God. It was like, what the fuck? I was like, what is this? You know what I had to do? I had to get in the bathtub. Got in the bathtub. Well, I lit a white candle first, a 7-day white candle. Got in the bathtub, dunked my head. It was gone. It was kind of like, how can I describe it? Like I can like I don't ever want to feel that way again. I mean, that spirit was riding my neck. It was riding my neck. I don't know what the hell is that, because I done ran into authentic spiritual people on here, and they threw shit at me, and they found out that that wasn't the right thing to do, but they thrown shit at me. So, and I can promise you, as an expert, spiritual work cannot be cheap. It can never be cheap. Okay, I think it could be for some people, but it depends on how much spiritual debt that you have and how much spiritual debt that you may have in your bloodline. So, it's time to get serious. We've had a lot of goofy shit. We've had a lot of lies. We've had a lot of people that have been backbiting, blockbusting. But at the end of the day, this is what it is. And what's crazy is that what I've noticed is that when I start offering classes, all of a sudden other people start offering classes. Classes in what? What are you going to, what? You do realize that when I give instruction to people, that I'm not just showing people how to do a spell. My spirits are communicating with those people without even talking. It's a connection. It's not instruction, it's a connection. So my students are getting more than just instruction. I don't know what other people are doing. I'm not trying to discount other people. I'm just saying what I know. Okay. So it got kind of ridiculous. And it's time for the chickens to come on the roost. Because my spirits are concerned about the safety and the well being of people. And I don't know if y'all saw that reading that for some reason my spirits are talking about Kevin Samuels and how a lot of the people that were following Kevin Samuels died. If y'all go back and look at that reading kind of freaked my shit out too. So you got to understand that some of these YouTube channels are portals. Hello. They're portals. And when a person tells you who they are, you better believe them. A lot of these channels they're not like portals, they are portals. You have a spiritual channel, you have a responsibility to protect the people that are watching your channel. Now, if it's somebody that don't like me, I ain't got to protect your ass. But if it's somebody that's just coming to my channel and they just so happen to be rolling up on my channel, I have a spiritual responsibility to make, and that ain't that difficult. But if you run around here and believe in a lie, then what that's going to do is that's going to put an area in your mind to where you're going to block out my protection. So, for example, a few years ago, there were people running around here trying to prove that I had no protection. That was ridiculous. Y'all remember that? It was very irresponsible. It was stupid because obviously I had protection. Yeah, I've been attacked by hundreds of people at once. Obviously, I have protection because my systems could have overloaded and I could have stroked out or had a heart attack or stroke or fucking worse, aneurysm, something like that. It's not as bad as it used to be, but the problem is the aftermath of it. The problem is the question. The problem, and people are very, I'll tell you right now that if you're trying to turn people away from me, you're very irresponsible and you're going to have to pay for that. You are, whatever entity is telling you to do it, that's an entity. They're not going to have to suffer for it. You have to take responsibility for your actions when you're trying to purposely block bust. Personally, I think that's the dumbest shit ever, to try to block bust on a spiritual business. That's stupid. Like, you're literally setting yourself up for failure. But I'm not going to show any concern or care for people that are attacking my goddamn kids. So I don't have no responsibility to those people. Whatever happens to them happens. And, in order to prove that you're a real spiritualist, you don't have to come on here and prove how happy you are. What the fuck? Like, of course I'm happy. Happy as well as grateful. So, y'all gonna have to realize that some of these folks on here have done things that they shouldn't have been doing, and they've tried to hide behind certain social constructs, but that's not gonna help the situation. A person can say something all day and night, but that doesn't make it truth or valid. So a lot of you guys that are going through it, especially when it comes to your money, you know, uh, I can't be compromised because of that. You know what I'm saying? Because of the decisions that you made, because you decided that something was quote unquote fun, and you know what I'm saying? I personally don't see how a lot of the stuff that some of these people on here deem is fun or funny. No, it ain't neither fun or funny. Mm-mm. I can assure you of that. So, um, I gotta figure out. I gotta make some phone calls, y'all, because I have to get some business taken care of. So I gotta go. Whoever wants to take this, and shit, whoever got a problem with this can kiss my ass, because you have to talk to my spirits, and you better talk to them like you got some goddamn good sense. The one, the spell binding has begun. Another two are coming true. Another three, some more there be. Okay. Another four, this power I store. Another five, the spell binding is alive. By another six, the spell binding I fix. By another seven, events are 11. By another eight, it is fate. And by another nine, what's done is mine. So listen, I can't for the life of me figure out why, especially when it comes to some of you sisters out there, except for spirit possession or some shit, why you would even conform to some shit that tells you that you ain't nothing but a piece of crap. I can't. Listen. I can't figure that out for the life of me. That must be some kind of spirit possession. But it ain't even just about that. It's not about as they call pro black. The hell, are you pro self? Do you love yourself? Shit. Somebody telling you that you're a piece of crud because you're whatever race. Somebody telling you that, why would you conform to some shit like that? Why would you even want to listen to some shit like that? So you have to question yourself and say, why in the fuck am I? Why am I even attracted to this? Why am I even doing this? What is this? And see, I can come on here and say that, and I don't need somebody standing behind me to say this. I can say this because I do not have fear of demons and entities. So I can say this. And, as far as a lot of this bull crap, I'm going to tell y'all something. A lot of y'all are listening right now. A lot of y'all are listening right now. And a lot of you guys are making that spiritual transition. And the one thing that you got to remember is that when people, except for your children, but when people that you knew prior to making that spiritual transition, when they don't respect that, when they try to tell you who you are, when that is none of their business, you have to take into consideration, hey, these people are either one of the other. Either they were always agents that was meant to distract me, or they just don't understand. You can't avoid that spiritual transition just because you want friends. Because if a friend doesn't accept who you are, or if they're jealous of you, and I don't see why, trust me, honestly, I sometimes I wish I was a regular old witch, and I'm not. And so if a person does not respect who you are, then it's you just have to walk away. And that's so stupid for me as a high priestess, for me to run around here and say, well, I am the only high priestess, and I am, oh my God. And this is how you can tell you can trust me, because I'm not grandstanding like I'm the. Now I will tell you that I have had a lot of fucking experience, and I do feel that you should listen to me and that I have a lot of input. But hell, sometimes y'all teach me shit. You know, we learn from one another. Yeah, Black Karma. I wouldn't have I would. I'm gonna tell you something. When it comes to spiritual stuff, it's something that I really feel comforted and safe to sit and have a conversation with people about. Like, being around like-minded people brings a lot of comfort. You know what I'm saying? And so it is what it is. I can't figure out for the life of me why somebody would decide, hey, I can see that this person is obviously on their spiritual journey, and I'm going to try to stop them. Hey, stupid people do stupid stuff. Okay. And then let's keep it a buck. When people think about, people can't think outside of movies and TV shows. So they think, and sometimes it does happen though. I've seen it happen to where, um, but I think that you have to see spirit. Like, for example, right now I'm looking at this candle and I have my room dark right now. And there's like this mossy, kind of really thick halo around this candle flame. And so that is where, to my understanding, is where, spirit activity is very heavy right now. And there's something happening, and but it's one of those things, you have to be strong though when you're dealing with that, because when spirit calls you, it just calls you. But when people think about spiritual work, they think of special effects, right? And yeah, I've had a lot of amazing things happen, and I've actually posted it to this channel. And here lately, there's only been a few people that have been digging me on that. Otherwise, I feel like, they can tinker with a channel, but you can't tinker with spirit. So the very few of you guys that are lucky enough to be here and even be able to see my channel, right? Otherwise, when I come and I show you, that's just like when I had that candle that literally mirrored the moon. The people over here watching, they just like, oh, this fucking shit, bitch, and they just, and those are not spiritual people. Even if I didn't like somebody, if I saw a miracle like that in front of me, I would be like, wow. A lot of people are afraid of it. It's very dangerous to go and receive spiritual services from a person that is afraid of spirit. That's an oxymoron. That don't even make no sense. So, um, and I think people that are jealous of that, they just really have no idea. They just literally have no idea, you know. And I don't want this crap on YouTube to be my spiritual legacy, because it's not. Like, I'm talking about the bull crap. I don't, because there's so many other things. Like, for example, I do plan to travel, but I'm gonna travel to places like, I have direct plans of, uh I am gonna visit Florida. So I'm gonna go down there and visit one EQ. I am going to visit um Jen, who is over in Boston. Okay. So there are things that I am going to do in due time. Okay. And so and I don't like it when people never mind, I'm not even gonna say that. But it's one of those things to where more distraction, more distraction, more distraction. Right now, what my spirits are working on is getting me to the lake. Once I get to the lake, then we flying from there. Once I get to the lake. Exactly, one EQ, because you're gonna take me to some of them vegan restaurants over there. or either cook some vegan food, you know. Um, it just seemed like it's distraction, distraction, distraction. And we got to set the record straight. That's pretty much what my spirits wanted to do. Um, I'm going to take down those very angry videos that I made earlier because I don't like for y'all to see me like that. And I wasn't even really angry. You got to understand that I remember exactly what the top of my babies, like I remember when they were born, all four of them. I remember what they smelled like, so I am a mom, and I'm not angry at my spirits because of that. I'm not, because they did look out for my kids, like, and made sure that nobody hurt them, made sure that they stayed with me, because that would have been extremely devastating, which I know it would never happen, because every bit of love that I have inside of me, I pour into my kids constantly. And my daughter be getting mad at me, some not mad, they be getting irritated with me because if I can't, I don't bug them all the time, because they're living their lives, they're grown women. But when I need to get in touch with you and I can't get in touch with you, I'm gonna be calling. I'm gonna call because I got two daughters. They don't live in Georgia. When I can't get in touch with one of them, I'm gonna call the other one, and I'm gonna say, "How are you? How are you feeling? Are you hurting? Is something wrong?" I know my boys are fine because they're right here with me. I can see them; they're right in front of me. But in that situation was like horrific. Okay, so anyway, that's pretty much what I wanted to say. But one EQ, I think that in hindsight, I think that there are a lot of people. Well, not I don't want to say a lot of people. Like, I don't want to say it like it's hundreds of people, but there are a few people that they just don't want me to be social. They really don't want me to have friends, which is so ridiculous. They don't want me to have friends. Oh, everybody that's being cool with me is trolling me. Nobody actually likes me. It's ridiculous. It's totally freaking ridiculous. So anyway, y'all, and I'm not even going to get into that because that's a whole other chapter that I'm not going to discuss. But you know, um, anyway, I got to handle some business, y'all. So I got to go. But that's pretty much what I wanted to say to the spiritual community. I'll be looking around sometime. I'll be looking around. I'll be like, damn, we in trouble. Well, not we, they in trouble. Like, what the fuck? Like, really? Like, is this? And it's so unbelievably unreal that, and I've talked to my spirits about it, and I'm like, am I dead? And did I go to some alternative universe? And they like, no, you definitely alive. It's just that some people are goofy as hell. Because when you look at shit like that, that's so unbelievable. It's like the Twilight Zone. It's like, really? Is this a joke? Is this something that was kind of put out there to like mess with my head? And so I'm like, the fuck is going on here? Like, really? So yeah, I'm a witch, but I deal with reality. In fact, mainly what I help my clients with and what I'm doing for myself is dealing with the practical part of life, and having spirit assist with your life on this earth, because this is what a lot of people do. In fact, what would be the purpose of it? If the craft is not actually helping you with your life, like the hell, it wouldn't have no purpose. And it's been used that way. It's supposed to be used that way. It's not, you know, oh, you have your physical life and then spirit is separate. It's all conjoined, right? It all flows together. There's a flow of that. So it's weird. But anyway, I don't have a lot of more time to talk. Um, it's pretty much what I said. I said what I said. I ain't got to respond to nobody because nobody on here has. I want to let people know that nobody on here has any spiritual authority over me. And I think that a lot of people was thinking that. And my spirits are saying to you, no, that's a mistake for you to think that anybody has spiritual authority over me. Not even my mama had spiritual authority over me. So, is it the wires have gotten crossed or something? Anyway, I got to go handle some business and then I got to get myself in the shower. I've been craving a shower and that is what I'm about to do. Y'all have a good day. I will see y'all later. I've got some people that are still coming into Llamas late. So I've got to get some stuff taken care of with that because if you coming in late, it's probably best for you. You want to, yeah. So I'll catch y'all later. Y'all have a good one. Please do not take your spiritual stuff as a joke. It's not a joke. And I'm not talking about psychism. I'm talking about spiritual. I'm talking about having the need to banish spirits, having a need to cleanse yourself, having a need to do certain things. Please take that seriously. Because it's not a joke and it is not a game. Certainly not a game. Okay. Love you too. Love you too, sis. I'll see y'all later. Thank you for coming. Hit that thumbs up. Share this live, and I will catch y'all later.